All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou, and we have a great episode in store today. We're going to talk about GOATs. I know that's been on Lou's mind. He's dying to talk about the GOAT conversation, some card values, where they currently stand. Got to get in a little bit of the national talk. We talked about that last week. Did you book your hotel? Because if not, here we are a week later, and they are sold out across the street, right? So we talked about that. Get into a play of the week, which Jason swears will be the best one yet. And then latest launch with probably the biggest basketball release of the year with Prizm basketball.
Potentially like one of the more hyped product releases or talked about or conversed about ever? Or am I off base in saying that?
I mean, it's hot now because of where the market is. I still think it would be naive to say it was more hyped. The hype around 1920 Prizm basketball was there. Obviously, the market wasn't where it's at now, but the hype around that when that came out was pretty wild. But yeah, I mean, with where the market is at, it's definitely going to be a fun week.
How did the first off the line go? Because I wasn't tuned in at all.
It fell. So my understanding it sold out very quickly once it hit 2K, which is where the bottom was. But it sold out at 2K. So I had a case in my cart ready to check out, and I was not able to complete the purchase. So I think trading right now, I think it's about $2,400, $2,500 a box is what I saw some people offering. So it's definitely, it sold out at 2K, but there's definitely a lot of interest in it now. So I'm sure it'll be a product that does pretty well.
Cool.
Can I tell a quick story?
Please.
A brief story. So I'm flying on Saturday, and there's a big. I had my auction reps. I've been out the game for a little bit, but I'm on the flight, and there's a big PWCC footy auction going down. And I'm like in the mix. I like to have a stellar or two when I'm in the air, but I'm like, all right, trying to get my whole strategy together. I got the airplane Wi-Fi, and I'm paying attention. But man, these things are running. Like I'm like, okay, I gotta plot my moves, plot my maneuvers, and I'm just getting blown out. I'm just getting smoked. I tried for a Lewandowski sticker, and I'm like really flustered. I proceed to take a sip of my Stella to refocus and spill an entire beer on my lap. Mid-flight, mid-PWCC auction, still juiced up from Card Talk Live, and I went about 0 for 6. And I just wanted everyone to know that.
So you spilled it on yourself and did not win a single auction.
Correct.
Yeah,
and I did nothing. I just sat there with the beer all over me in my lap in a plane seat.
Perfect.
Tight. People are like super upset. Half the cabin smells like spilled beer, and I'm just trying to grind auctions, and I lost every single one of them.
Right, where do you sit on snipers?
On eBay?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way to bid.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Ty guy, we might need to get you situated.
Listen, I told you I had been out the game a little bit. Like since
we're
we've been going to these
talking
shows, I just
This
haven't been buying.
This is a all upwards from here, positive conversation. We want to help you acquire the cards you want to acquire.
Yes, those are nice because then you don't have to do the work. You're like, hey, I want to pay this. It ends on this day. This is the item number, and you're good. And you get it for what you want, or you lose, right? That's just kind of the name of the game.
No work, no beer all over your lap. Like it's a whole thing. It's so great.
I know. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't focused. I also get weird energy when I'm on flights sometimes. So I was like, all right, I'm going big. I want to spend money. And I lost Actually, I would be lying. I then just made like a guilt purchase after.
Yeah. The worst thing ever is when you're like, yo, I'm ready to spend some real cash. And you're like, I'm going above and beyond my normal amount here. And then you still get punched in the mouth. And then you like weirdly buy something you don't even really want that bad. Yeah. That's the worst. The worst.
I bought a card Friday night during breaks. It was probably one of my nicer card purchases in a while. I'm going to bring it on next week when we do card talk. But I got a card this weekend. I'm with you. I was fired up to get something, and a card ended. I'll text you guys later, but I'll make sure I bring it on here. But it's not my typical play. It's not a footy play, but I think it's something you guys will appreciate. So
I love that.
I'm gonna bring it on next week.
So not only was footy running, I was losing out. I'm upset about it, and I still need to wash every garment of clothes that I flew in. So I just figured I'd share that devastating Saturday evening I had.
It happens.
But I think we should at least talk about the last time we were all together, Card Talk Live. What thoughts on that? Because that was crazy. It was probably the word that comes to mind for me, but it was certainly an experience, to say the least.
It was a scene. I personally, so like, little background insight for everyone. Tyler did everything. I did nothing leading up to this show. I just kind of showed up and was like, hey, it's me, I'm here. So credit to Tyler for doing everything. To be super honest, there was a couple people that came on that I was like, oh, I didn't know this was happening. So that was fun for me. I thought it was interesting, like getting different perspectives. That's been the feedback that I see, because a lot of times when we are a little too close to it, so it's harder for us to know what's going to go on and what the reaction is going to be. But it was cool to see people were like, oh, like I can't believe like someone like McAfee's talking about cards, or Lefko's doing his panel. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff where that feedback was interesting to see. So I was pumped about it, and we'll see if we have something else coming down the pipe.
Yeah. It came and went. Like it came and went. Like, and it was a beast. I'm pumped. I overall, I think the main thing that I was happy about is I got a lot of feedback that said it was amazing if you're super into cards, and if you have no interest in cards, it was great as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that speaks to a lot of what we're trying to do. I think there was also educational information, entertainment. The pack wars were fun, and the banter between y'all was great. And I think it's just the beginning for all things card talk, and more to come for sure.
Yeah, that was really my first time, since I was in the corporate world with working with a team that, basically puts this whole thing together. And that was it. It was very well done, right? So we have a group of a couple of us that do this on a weekly basis, but that was really a big time production, and it was, spotless. So really shout out to the production team on that, because they did phenomenal work and just always had us, with updates on where we needed to be and what was going on. So that was great, but still have to mention Tyler's 1-1 in Pack Wars.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
It's still.
I'm sorry.
It has
There's
to be,
a big old Lou Gehrig asterisk on that thing. Yeah, it's the Lou Gehrig asterisk.
That's just like not true. I didn't know we were doing this. That's just not true at all. Like point blank, I won both, and that's how that will go down.
Just like Justin Turner brought up.
If Jason would make a shirt that says 1-1 with an asterisk, I would wear it.
That would be the biggest. I would quit this podcast if a 1-1 with an asterisk shirt comes out. I'm done with this fucking podcast.
Jay, please.
Now Jay's definitely doing it because he's itching for
he'll make a 1-1 with a Nike shirt that only he has or something.
So
it was a blast, and thank you to everyone that tuned in. Thank you for everyone that was a part. I think we got big things ahead. We got some teas coming out of it. We got some more events coming. We mentioned shows are rocking and rolling. Dallas again in May, National in at the end of July, and there's a sneaky like Vegas thing bubbling up. I don't have an opinion on it yet.
I heard about it.
It's a thing, so we'll have more info. Vegas and cards sounds kind of cool. Yeah, could also be like the 10-day Card Talk World Tour. For real?
Yeah, I'm down.
So speaking of Lou, with the 1-on-1, Lou, it says you texted Tyler and I the other day about it, and you brought it up earlier today. So Let's pick your brain on this.
Let's talk about it. So obviously we've talked about the GOAT thing before, where like the three of us agree that like anyone who's like an all-time player is so dramatically underpriced. I was in an Uber going to dinner in New York City on Friday night, and I was just, patrolling eBay as I do because I have no life.
The old patrol, the old see what's going on, little card ladder, see the prices, quick check-in, ever hit nobody.
Yeah, right. So I'm looking at Brady Bowman Chromes, and I'm looking at Mahomes Prizms, and I'm like, help me understand how a Mahomes Prizm is $11,000 and a Brady Bowman Chrome is $19,000, right? Like, walk me through how that makes any sense whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going back and I'm thinking about it. And I think this time last year, you can make that argument in like the differences in price. Because it's like Mahomes really has a shot here, blah, blah, blah. That's not the case anymore. Like, that can't happen. Mahomes is not overtaking Brady as the all-time greatest quarterback. It's just not going to happen. So at that point, I can get behind Mahomes at 11. Brady should be at least double. Like 2.5 at least currently. So that was where that came from. I think that's where the biggest discrepancy currently lies. I was looking at other sports. Baseball is like very much like GOATs are very much priced appropriately. Basketball, it's a little bit different because the population reports are so out of control right now in terms of like 2018, 2017, 2019 basketball. So I don't think it's fair to do it with like a LeBron versus a Luka. But LeBron is really cheap right now. But
what about Lou, for the sake of that conversation, you said LeBron and Luke is not there. What about someone like Trout and Soto? How do those differ, considering Trout, best baseball player of this generation, argued by most, sells for, I would assume, a Bowman Chrome rookie auto is a ton, and Soto, who
we don't even do it the autos.
Won.
Yeah, the autos is different because obviously like a Trout auto is like ridiculously expensive, 30, 40 grand or whatever for like a base 9.5. I think that's right. But even like the Topps update is $4,500 for a Trout, and I'm pretty sure a Soto is probably around $325, $350, like $325. I'm looking right now. Topps flagship PSA 10 Juan Soto is $326 according to Card Ladder. A Trout is $4,500. So I think that's appropriately priced personally.
Gotcha. Ty?
Is Brady just not loved by people and that's why that is? Or like, what is that? Because that doesn't make any sense to me.
Do you think it has something to do with the fact that we will always argue this, that the market now is built on potential, right? You buy Luka for what he's going to be, what LeBron's, going to finish his career at, what Giannis could be, what all these guys could be. Does Mahomes could be Brady? Does that have? It's got to have.
I think we answered that question already. Like, that question's over. We can't get there. There's not going to be 9 Super Bowls.
If Mahomes wins the next 10 Super Bowls in a row, can he catch him?
Sure.
So there's a way. I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm not saying I disagree. 7 Super Bowls is substantial, especially if you beat him. I'm not arguing that.
And you can argue they're probably the favorites to win again. The Bucks. Their whole offense is back. What's different about their team?
The whole offense and defense, all 22 starters are back.
Like, it's crazy.
All 22 starters are back.
What I'm kind of thinking about is like, I think the prospecting is still
it's all fun and games, but I think like I was talking to my dad about this weekend. Like, eventually, like, the time for prospecting is not prospecting, but the time for getting into the really good guys is gonna run out. Like, Brady's gonna retire, and then the cards are gonna shoot up, and he's gonna go to the Hall of Fame. They're gonna distribute more, and they're gonna be completely unattainable. Obviously, like, $20,000 is a lot of money. I don't have $20,000 to spend on a card, but like, at a certain point, you have to stop playing around, and like, you're looking at it in the face, and it's like, all right, time to go.
One thing that's on my mind is people that deploy capital into cards or alternative investments, I believe, are looking for some rate of return that is fairly high and volatile. which would lead me to believe that more are coming in and saying, this Mahomes may have more upside in a shorter window based on if he, in the next 12 months, wins again, the impact on what that means for him comparatively to Brady wins another one. The people that are spending the 18 to 20 thinking, okay, 10% rate of return, if he never wins again, year over year, could I get that with my, wealth advisor or whatever like that versus a Mahomes, or if he wins MVP again, such a young age, like double up. That's I'm trying to kind of create my own scenarios of maybe why that would or could be the case.
I'm with you. I also think I was thinking about that as well over the weekend. Then I'm like, if you're someone who's spending 20 grand, you do come in, like there's a lesson in like you come in saying, all right, I can make a higher rate of return, but they're all like those type of people are also playing it a lot safer than you and I are. Like they don't come in spending money on Kyler. Like they're gonna like go buy the Brady or the Mahomes. And there's a lesson in that. There's something to be learned there for people to think about. And it's just been on my mind a lot.
Yeah. I think the latest run up I saw was in like F1.
Bro, F1 is on fire.
On fire.
Crazy.
I watched the whole Netflix show and I was like, I'm all in. Like Lewis Hamilton.
Super sweet.
Like, yeah.
So if we think F1 is big, this footy market has legs like I believe
I'm waiting for you to really walk me through it and understand it, because I will always be the person who would rather miss something I don't understand. And I just need someone to tell me. Yeah, the whole point. I just need someone to explain it to me, and I need to understand what is going on. Like
I can't agree more. I couldn't agree more with that.
I can wrap my head around it with other sports because I know it. I just don't know it. So like even what's his name? Like who's the dude from the Netherlands? What's his name?
Lewis Hamilton?
No, soccer.
Oh, I think they're talking about
the Netherlands, the defender
or Bell, whatever. Like
the Holland?
Holland. Like I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. I don't understand.
So we won't go into it huge here, but what we can and should do, it's been asked of me a lot, we've never really done it, is like, and I don't think it's a card talk episode per se. I think we do a quick IG live room. The three of us record it, turn it into content, do a little pre-preparation work, but like a state of the footy market could be fun kind of convo. Bring some people on. There's other experts, people that are deeper than I am even. We'll get it. We'll do that. We'll do that in the next 10 days, I think.
I mean, look what the soccer market did on, like, I saw some of the U.S. women's team. Once ESPN released that article about the top.
Anthem US, yep.
Yep. Was the top 50 or top 100?
Yeah, they put out the top 50 women's players in the world.
Yeah, I saw that the market had bumped there.
Yep. The U.S. just missed qualifying for the Olympics, but it had a nice little like friendly tour. Gio Reyna scored. Pulisic put one in.
Wait. The U.S. men's team missed qualifying for the Olympics. Like, did not qualify.
For the third time in a row, yeah. Under 20.
We're not in the Olympics?
No.
This team stinks. Like, real quick, these guys stink.
So
like,
it's a different squad. It's a different squad.
How is this not the number one thing we're talking about?
You're going to tell me that the U.S. men's national team is not in the Olympics?
Correct.
Wait. Is it in the U.S. that year?
The Olympics?
Yeah.
No,
that's like the next one.
That's the World Cup and the Olympics. Not the same thing.
I'm aware that they're not the same thing.
So this is for the upcoming Summer Olympics, right?
This is for the upcoming Summer Olympics.
22.
Correct.
And we're already out.
Our guys don't play on that squad.
Okay. They do the kids.
Like the guys. Yeah, they do like the hockey type of thing.
Doesn't that seem like kind of important to kind of get in?
So Tokyo is this summer 2024 in Paris, it sounds like. It is, yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
But we're not competing for that.
Like
we're
a bold strategy.
Listen, like we went from missing the World Cup and the Olympics. We typically haven't been doing much in the Olympics. Like we got a lot of work to do.
That's terrible.
That's so rough. Thank God.
And you want me to get into this?
What?
You want me to get into soccer cards and the U.S. team is terrible?
Boys are like not even out here like competing. Not only are they not competing,
they're all upside, boys. It's all upsize.
They don't
It's
even
all
care
upsize.
to compete. They're not even putting out the real players.
I know that is tough. I agree.
But speaking of tough, a week ago, I made an announcement on the Car Talk pod. I said, hey, you should be booking your hotel for the National. There's 4 hotels across the street, and there's one on the side. It's the Hyatt right next door. Hilton's across the street. Crown Plaza's across the street. I think there's
We're
a
not at
DoubleTree.
those hotels, Tyler, just so you know.
Right? There's 3 or 4 hotels across the street, one next to it. It's like, hey, there's spots left. Book it. I hadn't even booked mine by the time we recorded the episode. I did it later that night. As of this morning, from my understanding from multiple people I've actually talked to, there are no rooms available. I would love for someone to be able to confirm that. It sounds like Lou already has, but I think Lou and I talked about this earlier, Ty, before you got on. This speaks a lot to shows are back. The Nationals really close, and it is going to be massive.
It's going to be crazy. I'm upset. I mean, I don't have a room. I don't have a Dallas.
Yeah, you do. Oh, Dallas, you don't. Chicago, you do.
Chicago, I do, because my guy Lou held it down. But I'm fairly certain, like 7 times, Jay was supposed to book our Dallas rooms, and it just didn't happen. But
someone, 2 people on this show locked it in. 1 person didn't.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And so I'm the dope. But
and my dad's coming. Get fired up to see my dad in Dallas.
Wait, I thought you had aren't you like best man on the wedding?
So look, here's the deal. Shout out to Sean. I will be flying in Thursday night. I will be there all day Saturday. I'm taking an 8:30 p.m. Saturday night flight home.
And then you got Sunday duties.
Sunday, I got things to do.
Nice. Suit and tie, the whole 9.
The whole situation. It's going to be a
nice. Just quick patrolling eBay as your buddy walks up the aisle.
If you think I'm paying attention at the altar, you're out of your mind.
Maybe there's a couple other guys you can do a couple deals the post game. So yeah, I mean, definitely there was just the announcement about New York City rolling out the vaccine. We got Vegas potential new card show popping up.
I will mention. I will plug this for a friend. Somebody that I respect in the hobby is having a show May 1st and May 2nd in Miami, and I am working on getting down there.
I love Miami. Great city.
So would love for you guys to come down and maybe do a little Card Talk live there. Miami, May 1st, May 2nd. It's a 28,000 square foot room. Summertime Cards on Instagram. Anthony putting it on. Good guy. That will be May 1st and May 2nd. So my intention is to be down there for that. So if you guys can fit it in.
I would love to. I was actually talking to Anthony on DM. Unfortunately, just it's really unfortunate. But I'm going to be in Pinehurst playing golf that weekend. So
that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Oops. But yeah.
But figure we should. But again, you got Dallas. A couple weeks after that, you've got the Miami show, you got the Dallas show.
Hey, Ryan, I got a question.
What?
About shows. Cash, dealing with cash.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever dealt with, has fake cash ever come across your radar?
Knock on wood, no.
Do you do anything to protect against it? / have you done large cash deals and thought about it?
Oh, it always crosses, it always crosses my mind. In the shop we have one of those pens for the fake money, the little ink pen thing. I forget what it's called. But yeah, not something I've had as much concern with about that at shows. I'm sure somebody somewhere's.
It's just something that crossed my mind because I did a couple deals in Dallas, and when I got home, I was like, I never even thought about it. But there's some cash here, and I don't know. Someone could slip a couple fakes in there. Then these are the things that went to my head. Know who you're doing deals with, and or at least get their kind of contact or do a little bit of diligence, even if it's not kind of on the surface. Like, does the person have an Instagram? Kind of be able to protect a little bit in that way, even though maybe they aren't as interested. And then the other one is, if you are going to be doing deals that involve a large amount of cash, maybe you come with one of the markers. I'm just kind of putting that out there as these shows are coming up. and as someone that just went through it and then got home and was like, I could very easily have gotten burned.
Smoked.
Yeah, badly. Because I have no idea really who the person was. Well, like I have no idea who I did that deal with. Because I was in it. I was like, this is, and then it's like, I get home, I was like, oh, probably should have thought about that one. So it's just a thought that went through my mind as a lot of people may listen to this, go to a couple of shows, do some deals as a first time thing. Something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, fair. All right, so time to get into Play of the Week. Again, Play of the Week is brought to you by eBay, your number one stop for all things cards and collectibles. All right, so again, if you're new here, Play of the Week, this is where Jason, one of our producers, takes submissions for Play of the Week, where you sell something on eBay, submit it to us via Instagram or Twitter, and Lou, Tyler, and I get to pick a winner without seeing any of these beforehand. So we've done this for 5 or 6 times at this point, had some great ones. But Jason, like I mentioned earlier, swears that this will be the best one yet, and he's not sure how we will pick a winner. So we shall see. But let's get into the first one. All right, so JP 85 is from Jason, said started looking at off-brand slabs of superstar rookie cards and snagged this Russell Wilson for 30 and just flipped it for 210. I initially wanted to crack it and send a PSA, but with the backlog and the new prices, I decided just to list it as is. Bought it for
$30 to 210. That's pretty good.
Now, yeah, J. Pete. I feel like J. Pete is like cutting Jay checks back door because he's now made it on Make a Play a couple times. But
they definitely know each other.
Yeah, I mean, let's not look at Jay's Venmo receipts because he might be out of a job. But the outside, like, but all things considered, has this card run up across all grades?
I'll check.
He bought it November 30th, so in the middle of last season.
For 30, and Russ was having a good campaign.
Kind of fell off towards the end.
Kind of fell off towards the end, which is a little bit November-ish. GMA regrade to PSA. Yeah, I'm gonna be frank. GMA RC. GMA. Did he throw the regrade to PSA?
He didn't
in himself.
I think he did. Yeah.
This seems.
I'm not the biggest fan of that titling, if I'm being frank.
I'm not either. So let's be very transparent here. If you go on eBay, there are multiple Russell Wilsons from, let's see, a GMA Russell Wilson 10, just like this one, sold 2 days ago for $95.
Interesting. So something weird's going on.
So this seems like it, again, not a JPD thing, but this is concerning. I just want, hopefully it works out for him. Hopefully it's not returned or anything. There's no issues like that. But I mean, you can buy a BGS 9.5 to 320 or best offer, PSA 9 just to.
It's also a little bit of a different card too. It's like the
84.
It's like retro. A different style, yeah.
Yeah,
so that's something to consider as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
the title doesn't do it for me.
The title doesn't do it for me. I can't be a proponent of listing slabs and saying it's a regrade to PSA. Look, J. Pete's a former winner. Maybe we got a little recency bias from Jay Copel, but what we do around this here is we try to educate. We try to give people the looks. I think over time, it's not the prettiest game to play. What do we got? The new discovery?
I just literally sold a Russell Wilson. As we're talking about Russell Wilson, a Russell Wilson auto literally just got clicked on my website. So something might be up with Russell Wilson that we don't know about.
Something interesting is going on. I would also say the single most annoying thing when searching on eBay or wherever else is when you're searching PSA 10 and you see some other company and it's like regrade PSA. That's the worst. Just putting that out there, JP.
So I think, look, I think this is not going to win play of the week. Jay, tough start to your most epic play of the week.
Ever. Yeah. Quick pause. Ryan mentioned a little bit. Jason made it sound like there might be like a couple houses being purchased based on these flips. So we'll see how it goes.
And he starts off with a GMA 10 regraded PSA flip. Interesting, but respect. But
don't worry, the best is ahead. Okay, let's go. Keep going.
One thing I wanted to make a note of, though, I think in the past week, eBay removed the ability to put question marks in.
And it's not in this title.
Title.
It just has regrade.
Yep. Just random aside because it was going after like the PSA 10 question mark.
PSA 10?
You know, and so yeah, PSA 10. This feels like PSA 10 question mark at Jace. So yeah, not about it. Next.
You're into a Jace recently.
Yeah, I'm a big recently.
Yeah, you really brought up
yeah, exactly. Just because people stop saying it. So it's like
a Jace is great. I love a Jace.
All right. So this is from Play It Again Cards. This is my play of the week. I bought a lot of packs for $15. One of the packs was a 1996 Edge Basketball Rookies pack. I pulled the rare die cut Lower Marion Kobe rookie. Comps recently sold for $3,000 on eBay for a PSA 10.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll say
this.
this.
Raw.
To jump to the instant PSA 10 price is tough, especially for die cuts, which are historically very, very hard to grade.
Aligned.
So
I actually saw him. Yep, aligned. Let's do a little diligence here. I did get a message the other day, which was interesting. Maybe we can,
Ryan has it. Talk to us, Ryan.
Last raw sale was 120 or best offer. A 7 did 127. A PSA 9 did 212. Another raw sale at 117. Another raw sale at 80. 152. So there's. I have a couple thoughts on this play initially, right? First thing, buying random packs. Assuming the 1996 Edge isn't in that pack, what'd you get out of there? Right? So like it's kind of a bold strategy to buy random assorted packs as kind of a play. And then I also, again, aligned with you guys, we cannot assume anything is a PSA 10. That is not
especially 90s, especially die cuts.
Correct.
Yeah.
That stuff's 25 years old. That there's not very many 10s of those, I'm assuming. It's a die cut card. The 10s sell for what they sell for because they're hard to get. A PSA 9 just did $212. There's a reason a 10 has a comp near $3,000 because they're not easily obtainable. It's going to cost you $180 to get it back in 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, right? Like you're going to spend a lot of money and hope for a 10. I'm not aligned there. I think it is. We bought some packs for 15. We got a good card. We're going to sell it for 100, 120. Love that. That is, it worked out this time. I'm not sure it always works out.
And we're having fun. We're buying little packs when we were kids.
With
we're
the
ripping.
boys.
I'm all in on that. But you can't jump to the instant PSA 10 price.
Agreed.
Next.
Especially where I see it. I mean, even just looking at it, if you just kind of just squint the eyes a little bit, feels like there's some whiteness on that right side. But what I was going to say, again, using this moment for a little, knowledge is the last one was you don't necessarily want to be the guy that's selling, regraded PSA 10 in the title. Someone in a chat mentioned to me the other day, die cut PSA 10s in general are a play. And
because they're as hard as to get as they are.
Yeah. Just like as an overall like strategy thesis in general, die cut PSA 10s have strong value because of the difficulty to grade. And I thought I think it's great. I love when people just have random theses and kind of play them out, and then you see this, and then you see the comp between the 9 and the 10. Makes sense.
I'm currently cornering the market on all things Mark Sanchez die cut.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, what's the next one? All right, this one is from MJA.
Here we go, Jay.
3415. It says bought August for $149 and sold March 14th for $1,700. Sold was buy it now. Buy it now. Best offer officially off. Buy it now. Best offer actually I think had it listed for $1,800 and accepted it $1,700. So he bought a James Harden rookie card Bowman. It's looks like out of 2009. The numbered one, PSA 9, paid $149 for it, and sold it for $1,700. Lou, Ty?
Is that 48? Is that similar to like the other one? It's just the
variant? 48 Bowman design.
Correct.
It's a variant.
That
right?
year, I think I'm looking at it. That year, I think they did different types of. Yeah.
Got it. So it makes sense to me. I love the play. It feels like my man went alternate, lower pop. Again, if you believe in an individual, Harden, what have you, as these markets to continue to mature, people are looking to make plays. And if you find something a little bit off the beaten path and trust in it, I believe there's a lot of rewards similar to this. I think we're seeing it in the LeBron market right now. I think
Harden's
the
going
reason
crazy a little bit.
Harden's definitely going crazy. The reason I think you've seen the LeBron Topps Chrome come down is because a lot of people are going wider into his other products. I think you're going to see it in Steph Curry. I think you're going to see it in Harden. I think you're seeing it in Durant. I think a lot of these guys, people are chasing and trying to find something others aren't thinking about. Feels like that's what we come across here. I respect it, Matthew. And
yeah, this is a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to argue with this, right? I mean, you bought it for $149, you sold it 6-8 months later for $1,700. Yeah, I mean,
By the way, and you can see the rationalization, right? Like Harden on the Rockets, blah blah blah. It was, if I remember correctly, it was kind of clear that he was a little bit unhappy last year. So like, you're making the buys, you're making the play, and then, hey, I'm gonna make a trade. In a different scenario, you can't do it now, but like, if you were buying Deshaun 4 months ago or 2 months ago in anticipation of a trade, like that's the kind of that type of stuff makes sense typically.
Yeah, I mean, because
Bowman,
a lot of
great
times,
brand.
yeah, I mean, a lot of times these guys become more relevant when trades happen, right? Relevancy matters. We talk about that all the time. So
Hope
you
springs
get
eternal.
traded. Yep. So like this one, Jay.
I'm a fan.
All right, next one is Sam's.
Oh my God, there's no way this just happened.
What?
It says, hey, talked about the Olympics on Card Talk Live last week, and they went to the LCS on Saturday. Bought a lot of 2016 Simone Biles card.
Oh, this is Sam.
Yeah.
Sam.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says base 11 of them at $1.25, bronze 7 of them at $1.50, silver 4 of them at $1.85, and gold 1 at $2.50. It was total for $34.15. It says just sold one base for $41.99 to hedge the cost of the lot. Furthermore, an eBay listing, not mine, of 2 silvers just went for $261 on bids. Now, the cheapest gold listed is for $500. The cheapest silver is $149. The cheapest bronze is $58. Debating on selling some more now or waiting closer to the Olympics, but also really hard to turn down crazy ROI. Must think more on what I could put profit towards before I make a decision. This is my move.
This is great.
On this 100%.
Let me tell you why I just freaked out. I can show you guys my search history from earlier today. I was looking at buying Simone Biles cards, and I was trying to figure out which ones were the ones. SI for Kids or this one. I'm freaking out.
This is what the Topps, the 2016 Topps.
Oh yeah, 2016 Topps. This is great.
A lot of things happening here. One, shout out Sam. Shout out Women in the Hobby. Sam, thank you again for coming on the show. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you again for submitting a play, and in general for being you. I think the first thing I noticed is went to the local card shop on Saturday. A lot of action to be had. I guess said that these were in a bin somewhere, a box that said local card shop, put together probably many months ago.
Yep.
And because that they're busy and their business is booming and they probably have a little online thing or this, you just can't get to everything.
Someone came into my shop this weekend, was going through dollar boxes, and the stack of baseball stuff they pulled out, I'm like, hey, man, props to you. That's what I said.
Do you get nervous?
Do
you get nervous?
I love that.
I mean, somebody found 3 Kyle Lewis rookies in a quarter box.
No way.
Somebody found a Torkelson rookie from like some Panini product in a dollar box. There was like Kyle Lewis, Jordan. Yeah, it's like, again, Tyler's point is exactly that. Like, I don't have time to sit and like pay employees to look or for me to sit down. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go through my own dollar boxes and reprice everything. Right? You put it out.
You just have to admit. Exactly. You just have to say, you know what? That's part of the game.
Part of the game, right? The thought is always, it's why I don't stress too much about if there's a good deal out there. The thought is when it goes out, you're pricing it to make money when it goes out. So if you price it at 10 and you bought it for 5 and it goes to 50, You didn't lose money. You might have missed out on money, but you can't price everything every single day. There's not enough time. So don't stress something like that. I tell people all the time, I can't get to the dollar boxes or the quarter boxes. If you go through there are definitely deals in there. You got to be willing to look. And yeah, this is, I love this play.
And it takes a little bit of work, but this is such an important thing to me. This is like one of the more fun conversations every time it comes up, because I know what it's done for me. Because I think doing anything in cards as a shop owner, and Ryan is probably a preeminent local card shop owner in the country. And he just mentioned himself that you can walk into his shop today and find something that might win, make a play. What that means is that he's probably in the top 10% of like not being able to do that. So imagine what other local card shops have action-wise. Second, the notion of running a business, selling something that you're giving up more profits on and being okay with it is a very tough thing to learn and be okay with, because it's the ultimate kind of good guy behavior in a world where someone can come up and say, this was the price. And you can be like, I changed my mind. I'm not selling it to you anymore. And I think that most individuals that come into something like business would have that mindset.
I know card stores that do not price single cards because the prices change every day.
That's not a bad idea.
They say, hey, the prices change every single day. We're not going to price a single thing. You ask, and we'll look every single card up as you ask.
But do you, and I'm setting you up for this one, do you feel that your brand, you as a seller, your happiness and all that goes up when you sell something to someone that you made profit on, and you know that they now have the ability to make more profit on as well, even though there's an ounce, maybe a quick second of you that says like, ah, shit, could have made more there, but then you let it go?
I respect, again, I was that person at some point going into someone's card store. I enjoyed that, right? Like, I think the part where I speak so much of this is went to the LCS on Saturday. Not many people are going to the card shop on Saturday and grinding out hours in a quarter and dollar boxes. Like, a lot of people want to go on eBay, find a deal for 500 and flip it for 10K, but that's not real, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that doesn't happen. So to be able to go to a card store on a Saturday afternoon when your friends are going out to lunch and going to grab mimosas and chilling, right? Like, I'm giving Sam some love here on the mimosas.
Yeah.
But like,
Rod's really like,
honest, like, this is so real. And like, this is what I'm always trying to preach is like, this can happen if you're willing to put in the grind on this. And 100% I'm picking this. I don't care who else I see. Jay says the next play is fire. This is my winner. This is everything I live for.
Yeah.
I'm so upset that this just happened because all I want is a Simone Biles as of like 4 hours ago. So I'm really taken aback by this play.
I'm just stuck on this notion because this is my story in Dallas. I'm an Mbappe stan. I love Mbappe. If I personally collect anything, it's Mbappe cards. Kabooms are amazing. I had a Kaboom 9.5 Mbappe in Dallas. And I had it in my case, and I put a price on it that was, I would imagine at the time, the highest that card had ever sold for. And I knew in my gut that I was selling it because I wanted the reps, the cash flow, and there was other plays I wanted to make while I was there. And I have a lot of Mbappe stuff. And every time someone wanted it, and it's always negotiate off of the price. And I said, nope. I'm not. This is my price. This is what it is. And there's someone that worked. Literally, we first talked on Friday, and they grinded, and they bought Saturday at that price. BGS 9.5, I sold it for $4,800. That person grinded for that card. PSA 9 on Saturday sold at PWCC for $7,000. And I'm happy as shit for that dude. There's the littlest bit of me that I'm fighting back against of like, Tyler, you suck. You're an idiot. you could have made more money. But then there's much more overwhelming of like, I'm going to have a relationship with that person for a long period of time. If he wants to sell it, boom, amazing. And when he does make that money, my thought is he's going to have good vibes towards me, towards Card Talk and everything. And that was that decision. And I sold it damn well knowing that it was only going up.
I think we overlook that gets missed a lot, right? Like looking back, it doesn't do you any good because I think if you really think about it, everything you sell, you should want to go up. You should want it to increase in value. That tells you the market is hot because even if you did make 100% of your money on that, you've still won because the market's on fire and you're a big player in the market, right? So while you didn't get all your value on that, if you've got a bunch of Mbappe, you're sitting pretty because everything else you have just appreciated.
Yeah, like if you want to be the person who's selling their cards at the top of the market and it'll never sell for higher ever again, you're kind of an asshole. So like
facts, like
that's how I feel.
You know, I read an article last night, and something I really am about to get into is like learning some basic economics. And in order for there to be winners, like the winners have to. You want other people to win off your back. Like,
everybody eats.
Everyone needs to eat. And you can't just have this mentality of like, I'm going to make money off of everyone else because if no one else is making money, you ain't making anything.
If everybody lost money, there'd be nobody to buy anything.
It's the dumbest. It's impossible to time, and it's a bad thing to want anyway.
So
we should move on.
We're conditioned a bit to like not be the case. For it to be, no, I made 100% of the profits.
Yeah, it's so wrong.
Lose.
But I love this
big issue.
Me
too. I love this play as well.
We're just becoming Sam's fan club. Oh, interesting.
All right, so play of the week submission. This is from Bleecker Street Cards. It says, insane deal, I think. I watched your live yesterday, and you had a guy on who mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh!, LOB, Blue Eyes, White Dragon. Lou, what's LOB?
Legend of Blue Eyes is the initial. It's like Pokemon game for Yu-Gi-Oh!
Cool. I used to love that. I used to love that. So searched for first edition Blue Eyes on eBay. PWC's sold a few PSA 9s a month ago for about $15K. And there was one ending at like 2 a.m. last night that was bid to 2.5K. So I threw a 5K bid on it, went to sleep, ended up winning it. And now I'm like, did I just get the deal of the year? Struggling to figure out how this card went unnoticed. Literally selling for less than PSA 7s and 1/3 of its SMR value. All I can think is that the guy forgot to put PSA in the title, so maybe it didn't get picked up by saved search alerts. Anyways, I'm pumped to add it to the collection, and we're considering it flipping at Dallas in May. Lou?
Yeah, I mean, this guy just like I'm confused.
Is this everything like it should be? Like, what should this sell for?
I mean, February 24th, one sold for $15,000. I'm awestruck currently. There's something. This is what happened to me with my Yu-Gi-Oh thing. I bought something for outrageously cheap as well, and it was much lower than all the other comps when I bought it. So I'm a little confused. But that is like so. Blue Eyes White Dragon LOB is the one. There's some people will say the starter deck is better, blah blah blah. But I would consider LOB to be the main thing that when they first came out in the US, the first thing that came out in the US, and like that was the one. So that's a first edition Blue Eyes White Dragon for sure, unless everyone here is missing something. And
yeah, the only thing that could potentially be the case is like we don't have a back image and maybe the image,
but it's a 9.
So Lou, there's one on eBay right now up for wait, maybe it's just not first. No,
what I was going to say
is it Asian? There's the Asian English that gets confusing a little bit.
Not first edition.
Yeah. The other one that's live right now I see is listed for 18.5.
Yeah, I see
and
that.
Then 20 and then 25.
Yeah, what I was just going to say is like maybe it was listed wrong, or maybe it was graded wrong and it's not first edition.
You can see
I see first edition.
First edition.
Right. It's not Spanish.
On the left
it's
side.
Not an international copy.
Wow.
I mean, it's as clear as day. This is a PSA.
This is a steal. This is a massive steal.
Wow.
And this is a huge card. For people who aren't super dialed in, this is like buying a first edition Charizard PSA 9.
For like a third of market value.
For a third of market. Yeah, it'd be like buying a PSA 9 for $10,000 right now.
Yeah, here it is, $35.50. Okay. So the guy that sold it had 107 feedback.
Yeah, no other items for sale right now.
No other items for sale. And he's sold some cards before. One of them was a complete Japanese fossil set, 48 cards, and then a Dragonite first edition fossil for
Did this guy ship it? I wonder if I'm gonna try to DM this person as we're talking to see if he actually shipped it or not.
It sold on 3/25.
Oh, so it's been well, he should have shipped it by now, 4 days.
That's a play.
That's a play. All things considered, based on everything that I know about Yu-Gi-Oh, which is a little bit, but not the most, that's an unbelievable play.
I'm just trying to
2 a.m. The auction finished,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't put PSA. Maybe that's right. Right? I think that's possible. It didn't say PSA, so it didn't show up. So no one.
I'm telling you, most people are definitely putting PSA in the title. That's one of the first things you would put. I mean, even if you didn't put the grade, you would still put PSA in the title. I mean, besides literally Blue Eyes White Dragon, you'd put PSA in the title over anything else.
Yeah, there's so many things in my mind of like.
It's just one of those things that
32 bids.
It seems too good to be true. Like,
yeah, it scares me. But even 32
this happened
bids.
To me. To be fair, to be clear, this happened to me on a smaller scale. I got a Gaia for $100, and that's like a $1,500 card.
That's a good job by you. So it sounds like there's plays to be made based on lack of information and knowledge and education. What also another thing is my mind is when there's multiple people that may think something is too good to be true, how confident are you? Because 32 bids, again, that might be only a couple people. But if you think about snipers and whatnot, a bunch of people probably thought this might be too good to be true and just said 3,000 or 3,200 is my max. And how, if you're confident, what like my
Jason,
man was.
Is that the last one, Jason? I think that's 5, right?
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, I thought we were literally about to become the Sam Stuff fan club.
I'm taken aback by this.
But this is a curveball.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Love the play because I've talked about this before with Some to Shop with, searching for different things, searching at odd times, right? I think there's a lot here. The hardened play is patience, right? Buying something you think is underpriced, sitting on it for a couple of months, cashing in when the time's right. This is the best ones for sure. Jason was definitely right. These are the best ones. There's no question in my mind. I'm picking Sam though. That play is just, again, going on a Saturday, looking up cards, grinding it out, selling something to hedge your bet. Like, I love the idea of this. I would, Sam, I'll be honest, I'm one where I'm going to cash in a little bit more on this. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get, I'm going to keep.
I would sell a few bronzes and
I'm going to keep. I'm going to keep the gold. I'm going to keep a silver. I'm going to keep a bronze, and I'm going to keep a base, and I'm going to sell everything else. And I'm going to make $500+, and I'm going to put $500 into dollar boxes in Dallas, mm-hmm. and I'm going to do the same thing in Dallas, and I'm going to sit on the Simone Biles, and then when they reach, $1,000 for all of them, or $1,500.
I'd be throwing them in subs right now. No,
you could.
There's no pop. Trust me, I've looked. There's no pop on these.
But I would cash in on a lot of these, make a lot of money, and I would just reinvest it. Right, turn 500 into 1,000, 1,000 into 12, 12 into 15, 15 into 2, and you started with $34. This is a major head start when to get a lot of capital. I'm all for this play. Props for going on a Saturday and chilling. This is my winner.
Boom.
I gotta go with the Yu-Gi-Oh play. Because the upside on this is just too high. If this card chips, if it's legit, and it all is proper, this is the winner. The upside on this card is just way too high compared to everything else here.
Wow.
And I love Sam, and I love Simone Biles. I was, as you saw my reaction, I was so crazy.
I'm going to as well follow my dear friend Lou, and Bleecker Street Cards has won play of the week.
Wow.
Because I respect his conviction, because I have weird feelings even saying it, that there's going to be an aha moment. But until the aha moment arises, because if this happened, just imagine what else is out there. Wrong listing, this, that, the other thing, and it takes work, and then it takes being convicted and taking the risk and all that. And so I respect it. Bleecker Street cards, good work. Not to be confused with Bleecker Street trading.
Yeah. All right, so that is all we got for Play of the Week. Again, Play of the Week is brought to you by eBay, your number one spot for all things cards and collectibles. All right, so before we wrap it up here, we've got upcoming releases, Definitive Baseball, Lumber Kings Baseball from Leaf, couple things. But the most important one, which we've got to mention, is Prizm Basketball, right? Pre-selling online for most of the big websites for about $2,500 per box. There hasn't been a Prizm Basketball hobby release since December of 2019 when Zion was a rookie. This is
December 2019, huh?
I was in I was in New England that weekend. We went to Boston with my parents for Chiefs Patriots when we went on the field and saw got to on the field see the Patriots in Boston. It was awesome. That was the opening weekend for Prizm Basketball. That's how I remember this. And that was December of 2019. I think it was the 7th. And that was the last time it came out because COVID pushed everything back, right? Start of the season that delayed all the products on Panini. And here we are in March of 2021. And it's been 14 months since the last Prizm Basketball product. Just for some perspective, I'm fairly confident Prizm Basketball on my shelf on opening weekend was $4.40 a box. And again, it's currently being sold online for about $2,500 a box.
I think that speaks a lot to where we are as a hobby compared to over a year ago today.
Where my head just went was, and what I've been thinking about in soccer recently is I've been so close to it. It's been a couple of years, but it just now feels like people are starting to understand soccer, the runway of World Cup, next 18 months, Euro Cup, Prem League, everything, boom, boom. Like, okay, there's real action to be had here. What I think that Prizm price is, okay, breaking changed the game. These are priced for breaking and gambling, right? And these are priced as a product to gamble because and this is where I'm taking this is these are more or less bought fractionally with a chance to win, to pull a hit. These aren't now necessarily being priced as a fun Friday night father-son to pop open. They're being priced as you might buy a slot and spin the roulette wheel. What then I say is, okay, Rally, Otis, all these companies on the fractional side of things, of slabs and high-end cards, when that plays out, which we've discussed, you're going to start seeing head-scratching price numbers because the sheer power of 1,000 people putting $120 into something versus 100 people trying to buy said card and own the whole thing. That's just where my head went on that pricing. And I'm like, oh, I think it's that much and can be sustainable-ish because there's that many breakers and that many people that on a Friday night just want to buy slots.
Yeah, this I agree with Lou. It's like, where's the market gone? This tells you that breakers run cards, right? This is where these prices come from because you want to chill on a Friday night, like it's gonna happen, and somebody's gonna pull a LaMelo Ball Prizm Gold out of 10, and it's gonna sell for 25,000. And so we're going to be talking about it. LaMelo Ball at fractured wrist. And, second year Zion Prizm Gold, what's that going to sell for? 20K, 25K, 40K? I have no idea, right? Like these are going to be massive
right now,
cards, right? Like, we're not talking about Donruss. We're not talking about Absolute.
This is the real shit.
This is the product, right? Like Luka PSA 10 second year base card sell for what? $200.
Yep.
You don't think people are going to be grading John Zion and all LaMelo and LeBron Lakers and Giannis, and it is what people want for basketball. This product will do well, regardless if you're going to go in and break it yourself. Breakers are going to break it like crazy, and I'm going to sit here today and say that the price of Prizm Basketball will be higher I think significantly higher a month from now than it is right now.
100%.
Aligned.
It was just crazy. I was thinking about like the moment. I remember like last December, January, people talking about like 2019 Prizm basketball, and it was like the craziest thing of all time, and the prices were so bananas.
I told you guys this story before, but in January 15th of 2020, I had a buddy ask me, he's like, hey, I need a case of product to hold. I'm looking for something that I can invest in. And I was like, hey, Prizm 19 basketball with Zion is $600 It's $600 on blowout. No, $500 a box. $500 a box. It was $6,000 a case. It was $599, $59.95. And I was like, hey, buy this. 18-19 with Luka is about $8,200. I said, this is your buy. At the National, it'll sell for $8,000. You'll make a couple bucks. He's like, maybe, not sure. I'm going to wait. I bought it. I'm like, you know what? I talked myself into this. I'm going to buy it. Still have it. I don't know where they're at now, but
last case ended at $37K.
There you go. They got it
how much?
$59.95, $6K.
Good work.
Unbelievable.
So
Good work for you.
Just again, we talk about it. Prizm's what people are going to want. It's hard to say.
And I don't see breaking slowing down like at all. It's like really fun.
At all.
Nope.
I go on loop all the time.
And people are like, well, what if it gets to 5,000? I'm not saying it's going to get to 5,000. Let's say 3,000 a box. Are people still going to break it? I just look at it like maybe a year from now. If I think people are going to hold it. People like sealed product. It's a good investment. I think I'm very big into sealed product, but you can fill older wax that has shots at bigger cards in it. For a lot of people out there would spend $100 or $300 or $500 to get in a box of 0304 product like Chase LeBron.
Yeah. Think about what happens when a Mega Millions runs up and all of a sudden everyone talks about it and is like, yeah, I'm not winning, but I just picked up 5 of them from my buddies at work. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, these happens.
Spent $100 on lottery tickets for some reason.
Don't
know why.
No, I wasn't winning anything, but that was fun.
Here?
Yeah.
You get something tangible. You get a team in a box for case break. Breaking is where the market's at right now. I can't wait to talk about it next week because Prizm's going to have a good week, I believe.
Hell yeah. Well, Ryan, I know you got to run. You want to put a bow on it? I think that was a strong, fun ending, and it'll be fun for us to keep track of what that product does.
Yep. I think that's all I got. Lou, any closing thoughts on your end?
Fire it up.
Cool. See you guys next week.
Later.